What's up, AtoZSports Live on a Wednesday, rolling through this week as we approach the Titans at the Browns, where Cam Ward faces Shedeur Sanders, something we haven't gotten to touch on yet, but I'm sure we will once players start to talk more to the media as the week of practice gets going this week. But the Titans are 1-11, officially eliminated from playoff contention, and Cam Ward showing the first signs of his armor cracking under this 1-11 Titan season, where I think this is an important conversation today, because I think there is one fear with every franchise that drafts a quarterback very, very, very high, because usually you're a bad franchise and you're in desperation mode, and you have to draft the quarterback top one, top two, top three of the draft. There's one massive fear, and we'll talk about that throughout this show and get your reaction. We'll hear from Cam Ward's post-game press conference that needs some picking apart a little bit, I guess, some conversation about it. Then we'll do some sports trivia as well. And unfortunately, JT and I are going to compare this Titans team to one of the worst NFL teams in history, which is just a different level of ways to embarrass this Titans franchise. So, JT, what's up? How's it going?
What's up? How's it going? Good morning. What's up, A to Z crew? Good to see all of you guys in the chat on a Wednesday morning. Happy hump day. Going to be a good one today. Excited to get into this. And yes, like you touched on, we're going to somehow find another way to compare this team to another dumpster fire of days gone by. But we will get through it all together with all of you here in the chat this morning. Some good conversation. But before we get started, need a couple things from you all. First and foremost, need you guys to lock in and like the show. If you're on YouTube, hit that like button. Also, make sure you are subscribed so you don't miss any of the content we are bringing you here at the A to Z Sports YouTube channel. If you're on Facebook, we appreciate you watching over there as well as Twitch. Hit that like button, like the page, and make sure you hit that little share icon in the bottom right corner to share the show with a friend, a Titans fan who wants to talk some more about this team this week. And with that, Austin, I think we are ready to get going.
Yep, let's officially welcome in the AtoZSports here, powered as always by the BTA Sports app. I'm Austin Stanley. He's JT Runke. We're Nashville's on-demand sports network, going live weekday mornings at 8:10 Central Time on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Links to the show segment by segment on our Twitter X timeline. Hit us up on Instagram, TikTok, Threads, YouTube Shorts, Facebook, Twitter, all of the socials, as well as Google, because you can follow outlets on Google these days, and so that goes a long way for us. So make sure you follow us on Google as I paste the link to follow us on Google in the chat right there. Also, to thank our sponsors, because they do make it happen for us and they help out all of you, like WilsonCountyHyundai.com. Check them out for all of your new car buying process in Lebanon. Bone and Joint Institute, boneandjointtn.org, the region's destination for comprehensive orthopedic and sports medicine care. Barton Drury Insurance Group, customized solutions for all of your insurance needs, are local and online at bartondrury.com. Botero Carts, life is short, buy a golf cart, with 2 locations to serve you this holiday season in Columbia and Gallatin. And Window Nation, you can get a great deal with Window Nation, 50% off all windows for a free estimate to have them come to your house, windownation.com. JT, I think we should start this thing off with a big congrats, because we're about to have like doomsday talk on this show, because I saw the first comment that we had in, second comment that we had in the chat from Ocho Main. Titans media is so doom and gloom. Y'all are literally traumatized. Wish y'all would man up, tighten up. It's too cold outside to be focused on negativity. This team will get better. Well, what negativity means, they're 1-11. And as Darren says in his chat count, they're 0-12 according to Darren, because they won this, that one game was kind of a fluke, which we understand. And so Big Ten Jeff jumps over to his YouTube burner account to give us some good news on a Wednesday with a super chat. Couldn't wait till Friday. Good news. Your boy crushed the interview and got the job yesterday. They fly it out to Maryland for training in January. So golf clap, big applause all the way around for Big Ten Jeff getting that new job. He had a raw deal with the previous situation early, I guess last month at this point, because it's December 3rd. So shout out to Big Ten Jeff. And because Big Ten Jeff has great news and he got a job, guess what? I'm going to do something for you guys. Cyber Monday rolls on. We're extending the deal. Keep it going. A to Z merch store, ATOZ20. Just because Jeff got the job, that deal continues. ATOZ20, 20% off our merch store, shop.AtoZSports.com, shop.AtoZSports.com. I'm also just links on links into the chat today. I will paste the link to the store in the chat because we're just going to extend Cyber Monday to Wednesday. Shout out Big Ten Jeff. Actually, you know what? Screw it. The whole week. The rest of the week. The rest of the week, the code lives. ATOZ20 right there. So you congratulate Jeff and thank Jeff for that 20% off continuing. So there you go.
Thank you, Jeff, for us looking at, once again, how good Austin Mills or Davis Stanley looks in that sweatshirt. It looks great. You guys should definitely do that. Awesome.
Austin Mills, Davis Stanley. Which one sounds like a real name?
Austin Mills, I feel like is more likely.
Yeah, Austin Mills is correct. Or like Mike Glennon. Is that Mike Glennon? No, it's not. All right. We're going to have a good show today. And so because of all that, King VZ jumps in and says, lock in, like the show, hit that like button.
Yeah, let me see. Let me check real quick. We got
not enough. That's the answer.
So we're about one third of the Facebook group over there has locked in and liked the show. That's simply not good enough. Show your appreciation for your fellow Facebook user, which I'm told you guys run in a pack. Show us how much you appreciate your friend Jeff and lock in and like the show.
J-Dub says, I'm not thanking a Big Ten fan. That's fair. But hey, Jeff is extending the Cyber Monday deal through the whole week for A to Z. So ATOZ20 for 20% off, shop.AtoZsports.com. So shout out to you guys who've already ordered some gear from A to Z Sports from that new store there. So, all right, now we've done the positive stuff. Let's get negative. So let's hear from Cam Ward's press conference. The Titans get walloped 25-3. They take a 3-0 lead against the Jags, 25 unanswered. And rookie quarterback Cam Ward at the podium just trying to talk through it all.
So the self-inflicted wounds continuing that you've mentioned, do you think there's anything the team or you specifically could do that is not being done internally or behind the scenes, a different way to address guys, or I don't know, if you speak up or hold some kind of meeting and address the players in a certain way?
No, I think no meeting or, could address that situation. It has to only be addressed on the field, and it's something that, starts in practice. It's something that we got to emphasize in practice. But, it's just unacceptable to be in the NFL and continue to, have these bad plays, from just all of us as a whole. And that's why, our record is what it is. But on the bright side, there's really nothing, that can get worse. We just got to continue to be better each and every day and continue to pull each other along and, try to get wins.
You're the most sacked quarterback in the league right now. How much is that starting to wear on you maybe physically or mentally?
I live the life of a quarterback. I play the next play. I live the next day. I like to live my life one day at a time. So how I'm feeling, it really, doesn't bother me. Someone in the world has it a lot worse, than I have. So that's just how I put it in perspective. I'm very blessed. God's blessed me with the ability to do what I love for a living. Not a lot of people get the chance to say that. He's given me the ability to, play football. So, every time, whether I'm hurt, whether I'm sore, whether I'm healthy, I just try to, go play through him, play for my teammates as well.
Do you feel like all of the things that you're going through, do you feel like it's testing your strength, your faith, your love for football, your ability to keep going?
Oh, for sure. It's for sure testing it. But, to win, you got to lose. So, at the end of the day, just continue to get better, try not to make the same mistakes each and every day. But, eventually the storm going to end. And, all of us in the locker room will remember all this moment. We'll remember the guys who was on the team of this year. And, we'll be excited for the future.
So there's Cam Ward. The end of that was interesting. But there was a lot of heavy stuff, right? That's a post-game presser. A meeting's not going to fix this. The storm's going to end. And in order to win, you got to lose, which I think is an interesting out of context, that makes no sense at all. But when he says it, you're like, yeah, I get what you're saying, right? But also, yeah, he admits it is testing his love for the game of football, his faith in what he can do in the sport of football as a quarterback. And so I think that was very telling, right, of what Cam Ward is going through. So we're going to play that individual clip again. But let's go ahead and ask this question, JT. How concerning is Cam Ward's questioning his faith, questioning his love for football? Maybe not lost love, but questioning his love for football. What is the concern level 1 through 10 of Cam Ward questioning his love for football here after this 1-11 starts? We'll do all that. JT, I'll put this comment in the chat, and I'll let you tell everybody about our friends at Botero Carts.
Yeah, Botero Carts, life is short. You got to buy a golf cart. That's what our friends over at Botero Carts say, and I cannot agree with them more, especially with the holidays coming up. They are your one-stop shop for all your golf cart needs. 0% financing for 36 months with carts starting at just $6,700. They're open 7 days a week, full service sale and rental dealership that is locally owned and operated with 2 locations to serve you here in the Middle Tennessee area, one in Gallatin and their new location in Columbia. There's no dealer fee, no credit card fee. So no hidden fees when you buy your shiny new golf cart, and it is shiny and new because they're all stored indoors, out of the weather, out of the chilly elements that we are starting to deal with here in the Middle Tennessee area for your convenience and satisfaction. And they also have a no credit needed option if you wanted to take that route. Life is short, like they say. You got to buy a golf cart. And when you realize that you need that golf cart in your life, you got to do it with our friends over at Botero Carts.
BTA Sports is better for bettors. Man, I need BTA Sports to get into college football. They're in the NFL. They're starting Major League Baseball this upcoming season. I really need them in college football because my wins have been way better, way more efficient betting for me in the NFL because I have BTA Sports than compared to what my college football season has done. But better for bettors, they can help you out with models, with projections, with predictions as well, making you a smarter sports bettor. You can do that by downloading the app today. The link is in the Facebook title, the YouTube description of the show you're watching right now. And you use the code ATOZSports. That's ATOZSports. You get a 14-day free trial, $79 for a 12-month subscription. So that means you get the rest of this NFL season plus the playoffs and the Super Bowl. You get next year's Major League Baseball season and all the way to the NFL up to today, right? So that's a great deal for you. $9.99 is a weekly subscription with ATOZ 14. So it's a great deal for that ATOZ Sports $79 subscription right there for 12 full months at BTA Sports. Download that app and the link. JT, I'll send you to the chat. How concerned are you that Cam is admitting some questioned love for the sport of football with this Titans 1-11 start? What do you see?
Yeah, very polarizing answers here to start off the conversation. Hayden with a 0, saying he's not concerned whatsoever, and Z Wildcat immediately following that up with a 10. So the opposite ends of the spectrum there. To start off this morning, Curtis says 4 because losing just sucks, and that's how it is. Titans Kyle says 2. D-Dread says 9.5 because it's starting to affect Cam's confidence. Once that starts, it's hard to stop. Rooney says a 2. Eric with an 8. Jason says absolute 0. It does not matter whatsoever. He's not concerned at all. Amnesia is doubly concerned, so maybe taking that concern from Jason, saying 20. Darren has no concern. Darren not saying a number, but it's very concerning. He says Jake Locker retired because he was losing and lost his passion for the game. Anthony
let's pause on that because I want you to keep going with Anthony and more. But Jake Locker went 4 years as the 8th overall pick. 10th overall pick, one of those top 10 pick, high pick for the Titans. And 4 years, a lot of injuries, and said, you know what? I'm done. I'm out, right? The Titans were not going to extend him beyond his rookie contract. That was pre-fifth-year option rookie contract structure. And so Jake Locker was like, you know what? I'm out. I'm going to go do other things besides play NFL football and get creamed as the Titans quarterback for more of my life. Now, he had some serious, scary injuries, like the hip injury against the Jets I remember that vividly of him having to go to the hospital because they didn't know what was going on with that. But he was just completely banged up. And this is funny. You talk about the 0 concern to 10 concern and back-to-back comments about Cam Ward questioning his love for football. I got Darren says Jake Locker was good though, and then Vanessa says Jake Locker sucked. Like back-to-back
Yes.
comments in my viewpoint. Okay, Darren corrected some. Wasn't good though. Yeah, it wasn't good. But still, like the team stunk. Jake Locker was going through it, and he was like, "I'm out. I'm done." And so I think Marcus Mariota's gone through some of those thoughts as well. When he was going through his injury. So there's something there, but I'll let you get back to Anthony's comments and more about the concern level of Cam's comment.
Yeah, I mean, that's also a huge part of it, right? I mean, thank goodness, and we don't wish or want to project any injuries on any players ever, but that we'll get into that at the end of this conversation. But I think that has a lot to do with how concerning it may be or may not be going down, like as we look to Cam Ward in the future. Anthony with a 4, Vanessa with a 0. Steven says it's a 3. Being on a leaderless Titans team could, bring him to that. I can see where he's coming from there. Ira Hoshi says 1. He just wants to win. We got a 2 from Maven Cole. Darius says 6 3/4. I'm not going to do that today. Jonathan with a 0. Corey says 5. Steven says 2. Jeff says 8. If he's questioning it, not even 1 full season in. Yikes. He'll be on Pandas next.
Okay. I think that's a big stretch,
Wild.
Jeff. I just spent a lot of time at the beginning of the show, like congratulating you, and you just do that with your comment. So let's hear the comment from Cam one more time. The isolated comment about him being asked by Tron Davenport, are you questioning your love for football and other things going through all this 1-11 losing? Here was Cam again.
Oh, for sure. It's for sure testing it. But, to win, you got to lose. So at the end of the day, just continue to get better. Try not to make the same mistakes each and every day. But, eventually the storm going to end. And, all of us in the locker room will remember all this moment. We'll remember the guys who was on the team of this year. And, we'll be excited for the future.
So I don't think he's Panda level or anywhere near that. So, but and Jeff says that last part was tongue in cheek. I understand that, but just for the records. JT, if you have more comments to get to, go for it.
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing. I mean, yeah, we were pretty much at the end of the last ones here. 2 more here. Alan says 0. He got drafted to the worst team. Struggle is certain to happen, but he's a competitor. He's done. Said all he does talk to his dog and does football. That's about all he does. So fair enough. Andre says 6. It is concerning and another reason why any quarterback we drafted should have sat for a bit. It was negligence to not have a competent vet. Jameis would have been perfect. That's an interesting comment, I think, as well. The one part that we touched on a little bit earlier is that how concerning is it? I would be more concerned if it felt like it was being detrimental to the physical health of Cam Ward and that part of his development, right? Because you talk about with Jake Locker, obviously it was never bad with Andrew Luck, but that's the big tail of the tape there for a lot of these quarterbacks and specifically first overall picks, right? Like that is the one where that is where you look at and say, we did it so bad and so much of a disservice to him that he walked away from football, and that's on the team. I don't think that's what the Titans are, but it's not a great start, right? To what they're putting around Cam Ward. And so could it be down that path? I'm not necessarily sure, but there are signs of concern, and I think it would grow increasingly with if there was an injury. But I think for right now, I'm not too concerned with those. I think those are normal things right now for a rookie quarterback on, as we'll get to later in the show, one of the worst teams ever out there. I think that's a normal thing. And I think his comments, we're concerned with the lost love, but the way he talked about looking towards the light at the end of the tunnel still, and like not being concerned, like not showing that and then continuing to harp on the doom and gloom of it, and more so look towards the light at the end of the tunnel, looking towards this team maybe being on a better note next year. Things like that, I think, give me the confidence that Cam Ward is still, he's always going to be football first.
Yep. Agree. And I saw where did the guy favorite Hoshi says that doesn't sound like a guy who's given up. And I agree with that too. Like, so my concern level is very low on this for Cam Ward. And you know, I did feel like this got a lot of attention, and we had planned to talk about this on Tuesday. And Ryan was in the chat like, "Why are we talking about this? You guys hated on Levis, and now you're not talking about Cam Ward's comments about he doesn't love football anymore." Like, I think Cam Ward's being honest. Losing sucks. I don't know the last time Cam Ward's lost like this. I don't know the last time Cam Ward's been so inefficient in scoring touchdowns. Did you guys know Cam Ward has the most passing touchdowns in college football history for a career? Yeah. He's thrown 7 in 12 games. I don't know the last time he had struggled so much to score points, to get first downs. It is definitely weighing on him, but as you pointed out, he's staying physically healthy, and you can only knock on wood just because we want Cam to stay healthy. And he's taking a lot of hits. He's the most sacked quarterback in the league right now. And Anthony says he was throwing 6 in a game in college at times. Pretty wild. Just the shock from one to the next of what he was doing in college the last 3 years 2 at Wazoo and then 1 at Miami compared to what this is. And it's a shock to his system, I'm sure. And the team is so bad. So my concern level overall, I'm just going to say it's a 2 because I understand this is a very difficult season. It's tough for all of us. I hate having to watch this team on Sundays. I went on that rant in the post-game show on Sunday. But here we are doing it again, talking about them 5 days a week, 6 days a week, and Cam's having to live this. This is his life. He's got to live here. You know? Yes. I think Keith Carter, the Ole Miss AD, kind of went viral by saying, like, I'm not letting Lane coach. I got to live here. I got to live around these people. Cam's like, I got a facility every day. 5 weeks left. It's like, how can you just get to the end of this thing to have a big reset moving forward to where you can rebuild your love for football?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, just like players and fans and everyone alike, media members, everyone included, are looking to get towards the end of this season, because what have we done for the last 2 seasons? The cycle resets, a new quarterback, a new coach, a new GM. Something's going to come in, and the cycle will reset when we get to draft, and then we get to the off season, and we get to training camp, and the honeymoon phase starts all over again, and everybody forgets the sins of the past and the bad part of next year. Maybe not this year. I don't know. It'll be very interesting. But I think that also works for Cam. It's a good, like you said, absolutely a good reset for him. And I think, I'm not too concerned either. It does, to me, more than anything, is maybe not exactly lost love for the sport or football or anything, but more so a wake-up call, because I think you do point out that, yes, Cam Ward has never had this type of difficulty in his football career. Mm-hmm. Now, I'd probably put it at like 70-30, where 70% is that Cam Ward has, I think you could go back to, like, in terms of the level of play he was at, he never had a team around him like this that was so ill prepared to go up against the other teams. But also, like, yes, the NFL in general is going to be a step up from the ACC and FCS play
and Pac-12 and all
Pac-12. That was absolutely going to happen. But still, even then, like, Incarnate Ward, whatever was around him at Incarnate Ward or Washington State, like, compared to the rest of those opponents that Incarnate Ward or Washington State was playing in the Pac-12, or respective conference for Incarnate Ward. Like, I'm sure that level of talent around him was probably comparable to what they were playing week in, week out.
Yeah.
In the NFL, that is not what is going on right now. And we will talk about this in a little bit, but that is also a big part of it. And I think that's a lot of like what he's saying there with like, we have to weather this storm, which is we need more reinforcements. We need more guys. We need, the leadership. We need reinforcements. We need to kind of get this thing going. And that's where he says, and then things will be fine. So I think he still believes in football and himself and things like that. It's just that he's been put into the worst situation possible.
And it was worse than I think anybody realized going into
certainly.
it. For sure. All right. So I got some comments to get to from you guys in the chat, another super chat, and with a really strong, deep comment as well to get to. But first, JT, the Bone and Joint Institute can help us all out.
Yes, the Bone and Joint Institute can help us all out. Do not ever fumble your recovery, and you can do that with our friends at the Bone and Joint Institute, the region's destination for comprehensive orthopedics and sports medicine. Whenever you get hurt in life, you have to know who to trust, and that's why we here at AtoZSports trust the Bone and Joint Institute, which is located in Franklin, right off of I-65, right there off the highway, with over a dozen specialists who can help you through any type of injury. They have a state-of-the-art rehab facility on campus to help your recovery, and they can do everything under one roof for your convenience, whether that's the clinic, testing, imaging, surgery, and rehab. They have it all. It's simply amazing. To schedule your appointment at that location or one of their satellite locations, go to boneandjointtn.org.
There you go. I also told you guys at the beginning of the show, if you missed it, this just in, Cyber Monday is Cyber Week for AtoZSports. The merch store is live. Use the code ATOZ20 for 20% off our gear throughout the rest of this week at shop.atozsports.com. That's shop.atozsports.com. I'm dropping the link right there in the chat to make it easy on you guys. So holidays are coming, right? This is the time to get something. We've got our team gear for the Titans and the Vols locally, national brand gear, so just the regular AtoZSports logo, and what NFL teams. We got 16 college brands as well for you guys. So shop.atozsports.com. Shop.atozsports.com is where to go for our new gear. Code ATOZ20 for 20% off the rest of this week. All right, so comments I wanted to get to. Amnesia said this team is one legit win away. Not taking God's interference from flipping the script. They got to figure out how to win their first one on their own, right? And I think that's totally
so important. Fair. Yes.
But like, football is a game of breaks, right? And sports are a game of breaks. You're going to get some, lose some. Like General Neyland has the 7 Maxims in Knoxville, and the team that makes the most of their breaks wins. Have to, all of that stuff, right? You have to take advantage of the other team's mistakes. And the Titans did that in Arizona. That's it. And they have not been able to make their own breaks as well there too.
Yeah, and like Darren says, this team is not one legit win away. I would push back against that. I think it's not like he's not talking about this team being one legit win away from turning everything around. It's one legit win away for these rookies for their psyche, for what they think, their mental, to understand the proof of concept, to understand that they can do this, that these players that were drafted, that everyone around Nashville and nationally that care about the Titans is looking at them and saying, you are the future. And if they can get a win, that reinforces that idea that they are the future, that they can do this at the national level, which I think is very important. And so I don't know. I don't think it is exactly like you're one win away from going on a Super Bowl run next year. It's happening. No, that's not happening. No. But it's one win away from proof of concept to these guys, especially in their first and second years in the league, that after losing I mean, that is exactly why I think you're seeing so much frustration. And that's kind of the answer, I think, to why. I mean, Cody Barton was asked this and he gave kind of a little non-answer. And I think it's hard to, it maybe isn't the answer that maybe media expects or wants to know when you're asked, like, what does winning actually do for you? Because it's vulnerable, it's personal, it's like personal, but like to these players who made it to this big level, you don't want to be embarrassed like this week in and week out. You want to know inherently that you can do this, that you deserve to be here, you belong to be here. For these rookies who have made it to this team, I mean, honestly, have made it to the worst team, want to know that they can play with the big dogs every week in and week out. And that's why players love to win, is because they want to have that status in the league. And to not go on a psychological therapeutic rant there, but like that's, I think, a huge part of the rookie psyche.
It's a relief, and Amnesia followed up, so that's exactly what they meant. JT Troy says, name the last time the Titans won back-to-back games. I know this. I know the dates. I know the opponents and the year. I know
it's the Todd Downing DUI, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's November 17th.
I don't know who they played before the Packers.
The Broncos at home. That was the NWI 2-touchdown game. In that, the NWI scored 2 touchdowns against the Broncos in 22 on a Sunday afternoon in Nashville, and then they went to Green Bay.
Wasn't that a 3:25 game in Nashville?
Yeah, I think so.
Weird.
Yeah,
but
no. Maybe. I don't know.
Either way.
But I was driving back from Atlanta to go to a wedding. And the crazy thing is, like, that wedding didn't really work out very well. But like, so they haven't won back-to-back games in a long time. And so overall, like, it's been a long, long time. It's been over 3 years. Guys.
A long time. The Titans haven't won back-to-back games in as long as a marriage took to
beat. No, yeah, that was like a 1 year. Yeah, not very good. It's been a long time.
I hope they're long time. I hope they're doing good out there.
Yeah. So, all right. More comments to get to overall. So Ann had this about the Cam Ward. It's a very deep, heavy comment, but I think it's legit for Ann to share. I love my job, but after a terrible code where a patient passes away and terrible day at work, I question if the good outweighs the bad of my job. I think he's lying if he said anything otherwise. And so I think that's where Cam Ward is being as transparent and honest as he possibly can. And he's always out here saying what's on his mind. Like he says when he thinks they should go for it on 4th down. He says they're ass when he believes they're ass, and when he thought they were mid in training camp. And he's gotten burned by that a couple times, not nationally with narratives, but I think if you're not questioning your ability to do this job at 111, then it feels like it doesn't matter enough, right? And it's almost like good to question it. It's like, man, if you're just like chilling and you're 111, it doesn't matter to you, then you're not questioning your ability or your love for the game to keep showing up at 5, to keep showing up on every shift that Ann's showing up. So I agree with that with Ann at a different level. So hey, it's as silly as it sounds, like 111 is not easy on us to have to do this every damn day.
No, not at all. And like that's also, I mean, it goes back to the conversation, that first comment, like, stop being so negative. Like,
stop being so doom and gloom.
We're trying not to be like, but this is the cards that are dealt, and we do a daily show that has to be here 5 days a week. You can only talk about having hope for a rookie and projecting what they can be so much before they continue to hit that rookie wall and do more rookie dumb stuff that takes that a little bit away. Like it's not an easy thing out here to do this day in, day out. And it's not easy for you guys either. It's not easy for anyone.
Well, yeah, I mean, they've won 4 games in the last 29 games.
The vibes here are terrible. So
Darren says we can talk about DK some more. Yeah, we can. But having fun with the ball. Right?
Exactly. Like, yeah. So
And how he should have had another punt return touchdown as well. Let's see. I had some other comments starred. David says, "What about Trevor Lawrence, Bryce Young? Do either one of those QBs seem to have lost their love of football? They went through the same type of situation as Cam Ward." No, totally. We're going to get to another one that's, I think, the worst case scenario here in a little bit as well. So then immediately comes back. Excuse me. Titans need the Patriots schedule next year. This season's schedule has been brutal for any number one pick team. I agree. Like, I just think they got a bad, crappy luck on top of that. There's no doubt about that. No doubt about that, which, bleep happens at times overall. Steven says, what everyone thoughts on promoting John Bones Fossil as head coach and to gamble that the next head coach keeps him. I think the reason why they haven't done that is because they want the next head coach to keep him. And I had a social media clip that we posted on Monday about why I think they should fire McCoward and make Denard Wilson the interim for the last 5 games. It's not going to happen, but I think it should happen. So, all right, let's get to the worst case scenario. We're about to dive through the worst case scenario of this Titans team is actually comparable to an expansion team. That's not good. So we'll discuss that. But first, I'm going to tell you guys about my new windows. WindowNation.com is where I went back in September. My wife and I, we've had replaced the windows on our long-term project list for this house. We've been here for 2 years. Window Nation came on as a sponsor. They had a great deal at the time. Buy 2 windows, get 2 windows free. They have a great deal going on right now. 50% off all window styles. And you can get 0% financing for up to 5 years. That's insane. And the process, now that it's complete with us, was awesome. Like, windows are a big project. It was a full day project. They showed up at 8:30. They left the house right around 6. It took them an hour per window on average to do that, making sure everything was sealed correctly, installed correctly. They cleaned up well afterwards too, which is a great, like, those guys take pride in their work, and they were fun to have around the house, and got to kind of go back and forth with them a little bit. WindowNation.com, a great company every step of the way through the presentation and the free estimate you can get by going to WindowNation.com just to find out what your windows could cost. You can save thousands of dollars with this deal. 50% off all window styles. There's so many different ways of finance. You could get up to 5 years of 0% financing. WindowNation.com.
Yeah, so shout out our friends at BTA Sports. Once again, use that code ATOZSports to get the 14-day free trial, then $79.99 year pass. That is including baseball, the upcoming season. Free agency just kicked off. Already tugging at my heartstrings over there in New York Mets land, but excited for the upcoming season because, just like for the Titans, I'm starting to get hopeful for the New York Mets, only for them to disappoint me once again next season. But I will be betting on them using our friends at BTA Sports, and you can too. When you sign up for that yearly pass, you'll get the full MLB season. You'll get all the way up through November into early December of next year's NFL season as well, including all the new and amazing features that they continue to add over there. BTA Sports is better for bettors. Use that code in the description or right below the title on Facebook.
All right, so I said the Titans are comparable to an expansion team. A couple of people in the chat went to the old school Tampa Bay Bucks expansion. That's not where I was going to go. Not to the Browns expansion either, when they returned to the league in the late 90s, but to the 2002 Houston Texans, which several of you guys in the chat nailed. And let's just put up a stat graphic that Easton and JT and I kind of walked through this morning of the 2002 Texans to the 2025 Titans. So there's 16 games played for the Texans, 12 games played for the Titans, 17 total touchdowns for the Texans offense. They won 4 games. David Carr, as a first overall pick rookie, 9 touchdown passes, 15 picks, 76 sacks. Cam Ward, through 12 games, this Titans offense, 11 total touchdowns at a slower offensive scoring pace than those expansion Texans. A 1-11 record. And Cam, 7 touchdowns, 6 picks, 48 sacks. He's still the most sacked player in the NFL this year. And this doesn't have fumbles into it. I don't know how many times David Carr fumbled, but Cam has fumbled several times. It's ended up in the other end zone a couple times on those fumbles too. But my goodness. So let's just toss out this question. Are you guys something to add to it first?
I was going to say in those wins, the scoring is also pretty comparable. Like, I think if we look back at it once again, they didn't score more than like 24 points in wins, and in losses, in a lot of their losses, couldn't muster up more than 3 or 6 points in those.
I think the 0-2 Texans team scored 3 points. Yeah, 3 points in 5 games.
Yeah.
They lost 3-24, 3-23, 3-38, 3-19, 3-13 to the Titans.
Yes.
They had 10 points twice. They had a couple 16ers in there, and one including a win. They beat the Giants 16-14. So 19 points, 17 points.
You could give me this blind resume, and I'd say that's the 2025 Tennessee Titans right there.
They had the 31-24 loss like the Titans did, the Seahawks. you know, like, and that's a expansion franchise. And it was a Dom Capers coached team. That Dom Capers with Chris Palmer, former Titans OC at one point, and Vic Fangio was the DC. Their strength of schedule was the 3rd easiest, I think.
That's crazy.
But they won 4 games.
Yeah. I mean, that is, I mean.
And so Garrett says this. To be fair, the Texans were able to assemble their roster from every team in the league who had to make tough decisions on who to protect, plus being guaranteed the number 1 overall pick. Well, the Titans had the number 1 overall pick. And yes, there was expansion drafts where you got one player from each other team. But let's just go to the stats. Let's find out who the leading box score guys are for the 2002 Houston Texans and their numbers that they had, because they only scored 17 touchdowns on offense. They had 11 passing touchdowns. 9 were David Carr, a wide receiver and a running back threw 1 each. So the leading rusher on the 2002 Houston Texans with a grand total of 529 yards, averaging 2.7 yards per carry, Jonathan Wells. Anybody know who Jonathan Wells is?
Who?
The second leading rusher for that 0-2 Texans team with a grand total of 519 yards, averaging a whopping way better than Jonathan Wells, but averaging 3.3 yards per carry, James Allen. Anybody know James Allen? Does that ring a bell?
These aren't real people.
No, real people. How about this for a real person? The leading receiver of that Houston Texans team with 6 touchdowns and nearly 700 yards, 697 yards, 6 touchdowns. How about Corey Bradford? Anybody have Corey Bradford on their 0-2 fantasy roster?
I did not, unfortunately.
What about Billy Miller, who had 3 touchdown catches on 613 yards in that season? A tight end, Billy Miller. Anybody? Billy Miller. Come on down. I know people know this name, Jabbar Gaffney. I know you know Jabbar Gaffney. Not because of what he did in 0-2 for the Texans, but because of what he did for the Florida Gators in his college career. Because he had 483 yards and 1 touchdown in 2002. So there you go. Jabbar Gaffney also threw a touchdown pass that season.
Yeah. You look at.
In fact, the only touchdown that James Allen scored, he threw it.
Yeah. Who was the leading receiver again? How many yards?
Corey Bradford, 697. He did have 6 touchdowns.
Man. I mean, the Titans have 5 games left. Their leading receiver right now is Chigakonkwo with 406 yards.
Yep.
Do the Titans even get a player that has do they get a player that has more than that?
More than 697?
Yeah.
No chance.
No chance. It would take
Calvin got hurt Calvin was
Right.
technically on a 1,000-yard pace in the games that he played.
Fair enough.
Now, in the games that he played, he was on a 1,000+ yard pace, but he just got hurt. He missed 3 games, and then he came back and then got hurt again.
Yeah.
So that kind of robbed that.
But where it stands right now, it would take Chig Okonkwo getting essentially 300 yards in 5 games.
Not happening.
I don't think that's happening.
Because he literally has 400 yards in 12.
Yes.
Yeah, not happening.
So,
So
unfortunately.
he might get another 200 yards.
Scary stuff out here. Scary
So
scary
is
stuff.
it fair or foul? Here's the question, and you can throw this in the chat. Fair or foul to compare the 25 Titans to the 02 expansion Texans? Fair or foul? I'm going to create a YouTube poll because I feel like I haven't done that in forever. Fair or foul to compare the 02 Texans, expansion Texans, to the 2025 Tennessee Titans with a top pick quarterback who's sacked a million times. Let me tell you guys about Barton Drury Insurance Group, customized solutions for all of your insurance needs. It is open enrollment time. I actually saw an email this morning from Barton Drury about that situation. So they're handling that for us, just like they do for our workers' comp policy, and like they can do for you, your family, whatever your situation is. You're looking for insurance. Everybody needs insurance. We all hate having to deal with insurance. So you need somebody on your team that can do that for you and not have to have you read through all the long documents with big words and tiny fine print that doesn't make a lot of sense. There are experts for that. That's Barton Drury Insurance Group. They can take care of you just like they have for us. They're great people. They're local. They're online, bartondrury.com. So check them out for anything you need, whether it's business, personal, rental, home, auto, bundle it, umbrella policies, 401k planning for your financial future. They got you right there at bartondrury.com.
BTA Sports, code ATOZSports when you download the app. 14-day free trial, $79.99 for the year pass. Baseball season coming up. All of next football season. I know it's been a hard season for betting for a lot of people, but BTA is still finding ways to make me money on some of the biggest lines every single week. Got to use them because it's where insight meets instinct. BTA Sports. Check them out at the link in the description or right below the show title on Facebook.
All right, I'm going to put the YouTube poll up now. So fair or foul, let you head to the chat. Fair or foul to compare the 02 expansion Texans to the 25 Titans. What are you saying, JT?
Yeah, let's start off. Anthony says it's fair. Steven says it's fair. Darren says it's foul. Anthony says extremely fair, and unfortunately, they are better. Darius says, unfortunately, fair. And Hirsch says, Ann says foul. I want an expansion draft and the third easiest schedule. Jeff says foul. They are worse. I'm assuming the Titans are worse, and that's why it's foul. Jason says fair. The Titans are starting from scratch. Foul. David Carr was god awful. Let's see what else. Esco says fair. We are an expansion team with all the failed GM draft picks and youth of this football team. Edward says foul. They scored 3 points in a lot of their games. 5 of them. Yeah, he looked. The offense is in better shape. Is it? Like,
wait, what?
He's saying that it's foul because the Texans scored 3 points in 5 of their games.
Okay.
And he believes that this offense is in better shape than that Texans.
This offense is scoring less points on the season-long pace than that Texans team did. The Texans scored over 1 touchdown per game on offense. The Titans have scored under 1 touchdown per game on offense. Yeah. Now, if you want to look at Chimdike, right? Because Chimdike has 2 touchdowns, returning punts. The Texans had 1 special teams touchdown in 02. One punt return from Avion Black. Anybody know Avion Black? No? Got it. How about this? Let's see if there's any defensive touchdowns for that Texans team. Why am I not seeing defensive touchdowns in this stat? What's up with Pro Football Reference in here? I don't see any defensive touchdowns. Maybe I can get. Wait, One.
Yeah, I mean, Amnesia says, what was the strength of schedule for that Texans team again? It was third easiest, right? Is what you
Third
said?
easiest, yeah.
Yeah.
So they had one. Okay, the Texans actually had one fumble return touchdown, 2 pick sixes, and one other touchdown that could be a blocked kick return. So they had 4 non-offensive touchdowns that year. The Titans currently have 3.
Yeah.
Cody Barton, 2 chims.
Yeah, and like I understand that they had the third easiest schedule, but like I Tighten Up here says even if the Titans had an easy schedule, who would they beat? I mean, you scored 10 points against the Las Vegas Raiders. You're going to play the Saints here. I don't know if the Jets even came to town. I don't know if
The
this
Jets
Titans
would beat the
team.
Titans right now.
You think so? Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I think the Jets beat the Titans. Who else? The Giants, I think, beat the Titans. We saw the Jaguars manhandle the Titans. I mean,
You're about to play the Browns.
You're about to play the Browns, and I am going to. I'm not getting ahead of myself. I don't even think it would. I think that Browns team could put up maybe 50 yards of offense, and I think the Titans somehow lose this game.
Yeah, so
the conditions.
So the bad teams, we've already seen the Titans lose to the Raiders and beat the Cardinals with a lot of help. So we think they'd lose the Giants. They have the Saints and the Browns coming up. I already think they would beat or lose to the Jets. And I think Washington would beat the Titans. I think Marcus Mariota would beat this Titans team.
Yeah, and so that's my answer is fair.
That's your 3-win and 2-win teams.
Because we're literally putting this out like methodically. Go down the list. If you could create your perfect schedule, sure, the perfect schedule would be like playing the Raiders
Patriots.
twice.
The Patriots
like,
schedule.
Yeah, it'd be playing the Jets twice. The perfect schedule would be playing being in a conference with the Saints, the Jets, and the Raiders, and I think you maybe win 2 games out of the 6 that you'd play against them, maybe. It's tough out here, and I think you're looking at it's not just because this team is terrible, but like how it's constructed is also, I think, why I say fair. You look at this roster right now. I don't know. This roster is probably worse than is worse or right there with what was the word is escaping me for the expansion team. That's what it is. Yeah. This roster is pretty much as close to an expansion team roster as you can, because what did the Titans harp on this entire offseason, or right before the season started in the preseason? We are going to use that top waiver wire spot to our advantage. And boy, did they. The amount of transactions and the amount of players that they picked off of other teams, which you could essentially say was their version of getting players to help build out this expansion type of roster for the Titans in 2025. You can just think about the players that they've brought in that have played a lot of snaps. He's not here anymore, but Samuel Womack, Jalen Armour Davis, Quandre Diggs. Nobody wanted Quandre Diggs. And
here's something. And he just says, if the Titans had the Patriots scheduled to be a 5-win team. So I at first was like, no chance. But then I looked at it. I was like, let's pause. Because I think the Titans could have beaten the Raiders in week 1. They played toe-to-toe with the Broncos in week 1 and had a chance to do something in that game. I think the Titans could have beaten the Raiders in week 1. I think the Titans could have beaten the Dolphins in week 2. I'm not saying they would have, but
yeah,
they would have already had the Saints and the Browns early-ish in the season, and the Falcons, where before the wheels truly fell off, right? So I don't. There are obviously the Patriots have the easiest schedule in the NFL. The Titans have the hardest schedule in the NFL. So yeah, I think the Titans have more winnable games if they played the Patriots schedule in that same order than they did of their own.
Yeah.
But
And
5
that's
wins, no.
fair.
I think they might have 3 wins on their resume right now.
Yeah. This is, to me, I mean, I see that. Man, I don't. It'd be tough to get to that 5, even with those teams you presented, in my opinion. But because like I said, I think this is as close to an expansion roster as you can get. I mean, there are some good players that they got out of it. Jihad Ward was one of those guys they picked up off waivers, but I mean, Shai Tuttle, Darren Mousey. I mean, they just signing a UDFA that nobody else wanted in Xavier Restrepo. Certainly it took later to get there, but like this is as close to a to an expansion roster as you can get, and that's why I say fair.
Yep, same with me. The fair is 66% of that vote right now. So I'll leave that poll open. But JT, I feel like it's been so long since we've done trivia. Doesn't it feel like that?
It has. I mean, yes, because the last time it was a week ago.
Well,
I mean, it's only been a week.
But for me, it hasn't.
It's been like
2 weeks.
2 weeks or more for sure. And I don't know if you saw how we finished up trivia last week, but we ended the week on such a good note.
Yeah.
I mean, we killed it. Ann wasn't even here, which we thought was going to be the death of us. And I think we got sub 3 or 3:30
Wow.
with everything correct. So,
all right, well, let's try to do it again.
Yes.
All right, trivia time. Let's roll. And shout out to Wilson County Hyundai. Make them a part of your new car buying process. You can see them in Lebanon online, wilsoncountyhyundai.com. Great time to buy a car, end of the year, because they got to get rid of them things off the lot. Get them off the lot. They'll take yours. They'll trade in. They'll do all that stuff with wilsoncountyhyundai.com. Okay, I will get ready to share my screen. We'll see how this goes, but I'm hitting share now. So, JT, you can do your thing. Maybe. Is it going to go?
I'm not sure.
Now it is. There it is. Now we're ready. Okay.
Olympics.
Fascinating.
No idea. It's great.
Olympics. Okay. All
right. I don't see a line, but Ann is here, and I think that's important. For some reason, I think Ann knows about Olympics. Just feels.
Also, Ann says yay books, which I'm glad we have somebody on that book for. All right. Taken second round out of Florida, this edge rusher total 100 career sacks, including 80 overall for the Bengals, 0-10-20. Carlos Hall?
Hall or Watkins?
Carlos Dunlap.
Yes. Yeah, sorry.
Boom. Books. Stephen King's first published novel was this 1974 book about a high school outcast with telekinetic powers who embarked on a path of revenge after a cruel prom prank. Carrie.
Yeah.
That sounds like a good movie. Television. Pam Anderson has a reoccurring role as Lisa, the Tool Time girl on Home Improvement. Movies. Jeremy Piven played a Vegas magician turned FBI informant who becomes an assassination target in this 2007 crime thriller with Ryan Reynolds, Ben Affleck, and Ray Liotta. I feel like I've seen this.
I feel like I have too.
I've definitely seen this because he was like a nerdy magician, wasn't he?
Yes.
Smoking Aces. Smoking Aces it is. Music. After winning the Grammy for Record of the Year in 2020, this singer won again in 21 for Everything I
It's
Wanted.
Billie Eilish.
Eilish.
E-I. It's a Billie I-E at the end.
Snacks and candy. Resembling the traditional candy bar, Kit Kat sells this product consisting of 4 layers of wafer and a chocolate. Take 5? Is that Reese's? Big Cat? No.
Big Cat.
4 layers. Is it big?
I mean, I think it has to take 5.
5 is what I thought, but Take 5 I think is Reese's.
Yeah.
It's the Big Cat, says.
All right.
Olympics.
You know what? Okay.
Novak Djokovic earned this European country. The men's. He's crap. What's Joker?
Czech? Serbian?
Serbia, I think is correct. Somebody.
Can we get a confirmation there? I think it's Serbia.
You're right. MLB in 1903, this AL franchise changed its name to the Naps to honor the star player Nap. Who was a player manager from 05 to 09.
Bro, I got no idea.
What?
1903? We're doing 1903 out here.
Yeah, I mean, hands out on this one.
I'm gonna go Detroit.
Cleveland, says Brad.
Cleveland? Sure.
Bang. Celebrity mashup.
Okay.
That is, oh my gosh, I know Martin Sheen.
Sure.
Is that Martin? And then who's the inside? Very different ages. Very different.
Demi Lovato? I see that.
And am I correct with Martin Sheen?
Sure. David Brown says Sheen as well. So,
boom, 406, 9 for 9.
Hey, we'll take it. Stacking good days.
Hey, I'm pretty pumped. I got half of the mashup.
There you go.
Hey, that was a tough NFL one.
It was.
Wait, what was the NFL one?
Carlos Dunlap.
Movies was tough. Overall, not an easy board.
No. I think we
over
did good.
half of it, under 25%.
Solid.
Yeah,
Solid showing from the way to get back into it. And I'm sure Easton's going to come on tomorrow and we're going to ruin it. So, but hey, we'll try to stack days on days. So,
yep. All right, guys, that is it for us. Don't forget 20% off all of our merch at shop.AtoZSports.com. Shop.AtoZSports.com. The code ATOZ20 for 20% off. That is through this week only. So get after it. Cyber Week here with A to Z Sports. And don't forget to hit that like button on your way out as well. And we'll see you guys tomorrow. Buck Rising live again tonight for prime time. Catch you later.